Happy Top 5 Monday to everyone in the sports universe. It is April the 10th, 2023. Seems like it's been 2 years since we started this. Probably has. For Aaron Crouch, I am Michael Carvelis. Aaron, how was your sports weekend, sir?
My sports weekend was pretty good. I mean, unfortunately, none of my Masters futures picks came in, but we still got to watch quite a tournament, and that's pretty much what I did with my weekend. So I don't feel too bad about that.
Didn't Jon Rahm come storming back?
Yeah, he was down by 4 at one point in the third round, and
Wow.
I had a small ticket on Koepka to win, and it just feels like he did not live up to me needing him to win. Now, I know that this joke has been made 100 times, but I do wonder how much of an effect it really was. But with Phil going one way and Brooks going the other, I do wonder how the live golfers traditionally only playing 3 rounds affected Brooks Koepka on Sunday. I really do.
Well, how long has the live been playing for at this point? Like a year? Did he come up in the PGA pretty much?
Of course. No, I mean, and like I said, I don't know if that's necessarily what it was. I know a lot of people are liking to make jokes about it. And of course, Patrick Reed played a good 4th round. Phil Mickelson played a great 4th round, actually vaulted him into 2nd place. But I am curious if it really did have an effect. It may not have. I mean, there's no way to tell. But I mean, Brooks looked like he kind of crumbled under the pressure of, Jon Rahm, the best golfer in the world, charging behind him. And I feel bad for Brooks, but I'm sure that there are a lot of people out there right now who don't.
And we know who those self-centered, self-righteous, and just high and tight people are. MikeandAaronDrive.com has the best in merchandise for our show. It's the easiest way and probably the best way to support our show. Go to MikeandAaronDrive.com. You can see our shop, which is where we got awesome stuff like this from. People love this shirt, by the way, for better or worse, knowing my driving history. The matching mug with the matching hoodie. You got to love that for a cold morning.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, we have other great things like our Fanatics website, which is where Aaron got the hat from, obviously. Just a great place to be, man.
Speaking of cold mornings, man, it was pretty gross over there in Augusta. It was in the 40s with rain and 50s with like bad winds. What are you guys doing over there in Georgia?
Well, let me tell you about my weekend, like just side point here. I had a media pass for the Georgia Swarm and Saskatchewan lacrosse game. What's that? It's lacrosse game. I'm in Saskatchewan Rush. I ruined the lacrosse joke there. But it was the lacrosse game in Duluth, which is outside of Atlanta by like 30 minutes to an hour. And I was raining all the way up there. I drove up there like 4 hours from where I'm from. And on the way back, I was supposed to get home at 1:45. I had a flat tire and my phone died at like 1 o'clock in the morning.
Yikes.
And it was 45 degrees and freezing. Like it was cold as crap and it was raining. And of course, no one on this wants to help a guy on the side of the road who's 6'2" in a black AM Drive hoodie in 2023, obvious to God. So long story short, I had to give this one guy, I flagged him down finally. He was on his way to work. I wish I knew his name. He was awesome. Let me use his phone. And my parents ended up coming and picking me up and helping me get home. But I experienced every bit of that weather, by the way.
Oh, I can imagine. Yeah, it did not look good on the TV screen. We actually,
gross.
For better or for worse, are actually warming up here. We were in the mid 80s to upper 80s. Yeah, I'm not a big fan. Like, I wish the year-round climate in Vegas, which I know is impossible. I wish the year-round climate was right in that 75 to 80 range with a light breeze. But we're getting warm here in Vegas, so I might have to change from the hoodie to just a regular T-shirt here soon. So maybe the Drive Safe T-shirt. I don't know. We'll see.
I have to put that. I can only put that back on there because this material, for those wondering, was not great. Like as soon as you had like one little hole, the whole thing ripped apart. But this thing is catching eyes. Just to let you know, it's got the nice username, so which is good too.
Well, I will say this: every time I see it, and those in the South and some parts of the Southeast will probably agree with me here. Every time I see it, it looks like the Whataburger ketchup packet.
I'm that guy.
You're the Whataburger ketchup packet guy. Yeah, absolutely. So,
Right.
uh, those my fans in Texas will know. Our fans in Texas will know.
There you go. I have a question for you because I want to get to this first. The elephant in the room here, of course, still in golf is Tiger Woods.
Mm.
I kind of poked a joke at you on Twitter. You didn't like it too much. Because Tiger didn't make the cut at 3. What'd you say?
I missed it. I didn't know it was a joke. I thought you were being serious.
No. So Tiger Woods, was 3 over, and he actually did make the cut, which is good. I mean, that's not a great. Whoa, 3 over, fantastic. But the fact is, he was competitive, which is good for his age and health. And then I guess was it knee soreness? I forgot what the injury was.
Yeah, all over everything. But yeah, his body. And we talked about that on Friday. Like I didn't know if his body was going to hold up. I mean, they really gifted him a cut made with the 3 over par, moving the cut to 3 over par. But yeah, his body fell on Thursday, late Thursday, and his Friday round. You could tell his body's just it's not going to hold up anymore to really competitive golf.
I'm gonna give you one thing that I always make a joke that like if people who had arthritis could be the weather people, they'd be going like this. Oh, it's gonna rain this weekend. Something tells me he's got some arthritis in those bones because it's kind of ironic to me that not ironic, that's like evil way, but like it's kind of coincidental to me that a guy who probably does have arthritis at this point in his career, when the weather got super, super bad, he had to withdraw. I'm just saying it could be a factor.
Well, I mean, obviously arthritis could be a thing. I don't know if Tigers officially have arthritis, but he has rods in his body.
And that could hurt.
And when that gets cold, I know a lot of people, I don't know a lot of people, but I've come to understand that a lot of people do experience pain in colder weather when they do have metal rods inside their body, screws, etc. And that's just people trying to live. So can you imagine trying to, play
a course,
walk a course, the undulations in this course, which for Georgia, which I mean, I know has obviously, mountains and etc. This is such a mountainous course for what I would believe, the undulations in it are just insane. What I believe is traditionally more of a flat area, but I could be wrong. But yeah, he's just not going to be able to. Now, a lot of people are saying he's done. Well, yeah, he's been done and from being super competitive, he's been done for a couple of years now. But to say he's done playing competitive golf is just false. He's going to go out there. He's going to be a spokesman. He's going to be I don't want to say like a dog and pony show, but he's going to trot out there in some of these events. He's going to go to the events he likes. He'll go to Riviera. He'll go to the Masters. He'll go to a couple other events he likes. I know he likes, the events in Texas, and he likes the events in Florida. But as far as winning another competitive tournament, I put his odds astronomically low, like less than 0.5% to ever win a competitive tournament again.
But you're saying there's a chance. And I will say this, though. No chance.
So there's always a chance.
Okay. I'm sorry. The cutoff thing is great here. I'll put it this way. From a casual fan's perspective, I know golf fans are probably more into this than I am, and maybe not so much anymore since his fall off. Do you think, let's be objective here. Do you think it makes his case for a GOAT stronger, that he can still make a cut in the Masters in 2023? I mean, after what he's been through and after how good these guys are now, it blows my mind he was able to make a cut. That's got to be good for something, right?
I mean, you're already made up at this point. Like, and I think that it's just in the circles that I know, it's an overwhelming favorite that Tiger Woods is the GOAT.
Okay.
Because he has far more PGA Tour victories than Jack Nicklaus does. Now, obviously, Jack has the 18 majors. He's got a lot of runner-ups. So I can understand people's, affinity for Jack Nicklaus as the GOAT. I get that. I understand that. One could argue that maybe later on in the competition, obviously, Tiger Woods' competition is better. But now the question is, I don't know if we can always say this. It doesn't seem like right now or in the near future there is an equal to Tiger Woods becoming the GOAT. I mean, Jon Rahm, how many years have we through where Jordan Spieth was the best player in the world? Then it was, Justin Thomas. Then it was Rory McIlroy before Jordan Spieth, and still Rory McIlroy that everybody loves to, caress the huevos rancheros.
Listen.
Last year we had Scotty Scheffler, where I started to even believe him. Like, man, this guy could really be
Oh.
one of the best, and he still is. I mean, he just won the Players. I mean,
how does Scotty look this weekend? Wasn't he a favorite?
He was one of the betting favorites. I think he finished at like 4 under par.
Not good enough.
He got to 6 or 7. He got into quote unquote contention, but it wasn't good enough. Of course, I mean, this is one of the hardest golf tournaments in the world. I mean, what happened to Koepka has happened to so many people. I mean, and I'm not condoning the quote unquote choke job that happened, but what has happened to Jordan Spieth. I mean, we wouldn't even be talking about Tiger Woods's 2019 Masters if Eduardo Molinari, I'm sorry, not Eduardo, Francisco Molinari.
Who?
I get the brothers confused, but Molinari had choked as well. Molinari had that Masters in the bag. I mean, Matsuyama had a 5-shot lead. I mean, there was always talking about once you make that turn, on the back 9, anything can happen. I mean, so it's happened to a lot of guys before, and so for Jon Rahm to just play, consistently good golf right now, it seems like he's the next guy on that trajectory to say, well, is there a guy that's going to challenge the dominance of Tiger? But I mean, next year we might have 2 or 3 completely different guys. I don't know. I mean, Colin Morikawa, Xander Schauffele. There's so many different guys in the league. Zalatoris, who's hurt now, but it's hard to say that anybody's going to match Tiger's greatness and dominance like that, because I just don't see it in the near future.
I don't believe they're going to match his dominance, but Jon Rahm, to be fair, I've had my runarounds with the jokes with him, but he's probably been the most consistent in terms of betting favorites. I don't know if that's because people are stupid enough to keep spending money on him, or it's because he's not bad. I mean, consistency probably does you better than just having a couple hot starts, but like you said, dominant, no way close.
No, and the difference between dominant and being one of the upper echelon is the fact that Tiger Woods, and I'll take this into the betting world because I know a lot of people know this. The Tiger Woods used to be almost even money or close to even money.
Insane.
Like you could take Tiger or the field. That doesn't really exist right now. I mean, like look at the Masters betting odds. I mean, the favorites was still 7 or 8 to 1. So Jon Rahm being one of the betting favorites. So we have 3 betting favorites all around 7 or 8 to 1. Jon Rahm coming through. He has played the most consistent golf. Yes, he has come up short in some spots, which has led you to, try to give him this moniker. But I mean, he's the best golfer in the world right now. He's playing the best golf. But like I said, next year it could be somebody else. But right now, like I said, we looked at this 1 year ago. I thought Scotty Scheffler had a chance to really take off. And to an extent, he's done it. And Jon Rahm, to an extent, he's done it. These guys are there every week. It matters, but they're just not Tiger Woods. It's completely a different viewpoint.
Insane.
The dominance was incredible.
That's insane. And looking back now, it looks even more insane. When we come back, the Ravens are shopping or possibly shopping around, but Odell Beckham said he might know something we don't. Also, we'll talk about the Patriots and their new drama, and top 5 baseball teams don't go anywhere. First, a word about safety.
If you're driving, please remember to use your car's Bluetooth speaker while listening to the AM Drive. Sports talk is not worth your safety or the safety of others. Thank you.
All right, welcome back to this Monday edition of the AM Drive. Make sure you visit mikeandaarondrive.com because it has one of the most awesome websites in the world. You see it right there. You know it. You love it. You know that F. It's Fanatics. But you can't go to Fanatics if you're an AM Drive fan without stopping at mikeandaarondrive.com and doing what?
Got to click the F.
You got to click the F. It's right there. It tells you. It's One Direction. Not the band, but it's One Direction. mikeandaarondrive.com. Click the F. Take yourself to Fanatics. Buy everything in the sports world. Best leagues, best players, best teams. All your favorites are all there and more. mikeandaarondrive.com and Fanatics. Shop, support, save. Cinco.
Something like that. I'm glad you said that. Baby, you light up my... Okay, I'm sorry.
As soon as I said it, I'm like, oh, no, not the band. Please don't. All these One Direction fans, don't cancel me.
I don't think there's much of those left. I think they turned 14 and that was it. Poor Harry Styles. Shout out Harry Styles. Not really. So the Baltimore Ravens they're doing some interesting negotiation tactics, I'd say, and he'll give Aaron a little synopsis here if he hasn't seen it. The GM, I don't know who the new GM is, but some white dude. He basically said that of their top 31 picks, because there's only 31 picks in the first round this year, I think, Dolphins, you are fantastic. He said of the 31 picks in the first round, he says, yeah, they have a few quarterbacks up there. And they even told some guy to shut up in the press conference if he even dare so mention the name of Lamar Jackson, because they were like, we don't want to talk about him, but then they also want to push this narrative that, hey, there's some good quarterbacks up there if they fall to us. I think it's hogwash. And now we know it's hogwash, technically, because Odell Beckham Jr. has agreed to sign a deal with the Ravens. And there was talk that he was going to wait until he knew who a quarterback was. And I'm wondering, why he didn't go to the Jets, because now you're like, maybe the Ravens could have offered him more, that he wanted to play with Lamar. Whatever it is, it's interesting that Lamar is probably more farther along with the Ravens than Aaron Rodgers and the Packers are with the Jets. What is your take on all of that stuff?
So, I mean, it would be an interesting scenario if, Odell Beckham saying, I want to play, I want to know the quarterback I play with before I make a decision. I mean, it's not that hard to say, here's the situation. Lamar Jackson is still a Raven. He's offered, he's tendered a deal. He ain't going anywhere unless, he's not going to another team unless the Ravens decide that. So, I mean, at this point in time, Lamar Jackson has no leverage in going to another team. He can sit out all he wants, but I gotta say, are we a little shocked by $15 million, or is this just the Ravens making that
Kyrie trade?
No, is this the Ravens trying to make that genuine, and I use this lightly, genuine move to acquire a bona fide wide receiver so that Lamar Jackson and his stands can't say, he's never had that guy. Now, is Odell that guy? I don't know, but I really didn't think anybody was giving Odell Beckham $15 million this year.
I don't even know if he was going to hit 10 or 12.
I didn't know
10 might be the max.
I didn't think he was going to hit double digits at all. I thought maybe 6, 7 at the max,
with a chance for 10 if they win something. But yeah, no, it's a good point, because you wonder, I'll compare it to the Mavericks situation, when they traded for Kyrie, and then you start hearing, well, maybe Luka doesn't want to play there. And Luka said it's not fun. Then Luka Doncic supposedly says, oh, I want to be here, which I think is a little crap now. You know, the Ravens trying to sign Odell. It's a little bit different, but it actually all does come together. Because again, I don't know, like you said, are the Ravens just desperate with a PR move here? I don't know. That's a good point you make.
To be fair, it's like I said, there's nothing wrong with acquiring Odell Beckham, but in a sport that has a salary cap, this seems like a big number. I mean, now with $15 million, you could probably acquire 2 or 3 pieces on this offense to really kind of beef it up. Now I'm guessing they're going to go wide receiver at some point early in the draft, maybe first round. I would say at least by the 3rd or 4th round, they're going to have 1 or 2 wide receivers in their pocket there. But I mean, I get it. The biggest question obviously is Beckham's health, but I mean, this feels like they're at least attempting to make a commitment to acquiring assets to help Lamar Jackson stay and be successful. I mean, like you've talked about before, what is a Ravens running back at this point with Lamar being who he is? So the question now is, you have Mark Andrews and Odell Beckham, you go and draft another receiver. Is that enough for Lamar to come back and say, okay, I'll play on this $32 million tag and we need to figure out a contract extension? Because the Ravens have never once ruled out publicly of signing Lamar Jackson to an extension.
To a huge extension, yeah, you're right.
Yeah. The question mark in play now, and I saw this tweet, of course, it's another comparing black quarterback to white quarterback, of Kirk Cousins, who's had his last 3 contracts fully guaranteed, but they have never been over $66 million guaranteed. Kirk Cousins' entire career has $229 million in guarantees. Now, is he a quarterback that's going to win you a Super Bowl? Not as in my opinion, as the Vikings are currently constructed. If you put him on the 49ers, maybe
they might have won it.
Yeah. But you're talking about a guy who's got a 1-8 career playoff record. Oh, guess what? Lamar Jackson also has a 1-something career playoff record. And you're wanting more guaranteed money for that guy than Kirk Cousins has achieved in his entire career. Stop trying to compare apples to oranges. Kirk Cousins has played on 2 franchise tags, not 1, but 2 franchise tags, has had guaranteed money in the 2-digit millions, not 3-digit millions. And we're talking about a potential of $250 million you want guaranteed tied up. Sorry, Lamar. It's just not happening, man. But if they can find a way to bring Lamar back off of this $200 million, I think they'd offer him 150. I really do. And I'm sorry. Look, Lamar, nothing against you, but if something were to happen to you, you can survive on $150 million guaranteed.
Agreed.
You're gonna be all right. And you know what? Maybe instead of signing a 5-year deal, which I know is the smartest move, if you want, you can sign a smaller deal and retest the market at 30. But I believe Lamar knows that type of quarterback doesn't traditionally last past 30, 31, 32 years old. I mean, can you name one other than Russell Wilson that's mobile and has stuck around past 30 years old?
Ask Cam Newton how he feels about that.
Cam Newton, Colin Kaepernick, RG3, which I mean, obviously there was injuries, but Steve Young eventually had to get forced out of the game as well. If you want to call him, Michael Vick had his own struggles, but even by 32, 33, he was washed up in the league as well. So I get what Lamar's trying to do, but man, an agent would have told you 6 weeks ago, it's just not happening.
I'll do you one better in terms of contract negotiations. With a franchise tag, let's say he plays it off for this year. With this franchise tag, doesn't like give him a better chance, like get even more money? Like why prolong this if you can just take the franchise tag, like suck it up for a year? You sucked it up last year, to be fair, like in terms of like taking it in like this financial hit, I guess. Take it in for a year and get a huge extension, and they'll definitely want to sign you, especially if you win another or 2 playoff games, right?
Well, and that's the thing. I mean, barring complete catastrophe or him getting injured, he's going to, in my opinion, perform well enough. Because look at what they were. Weren't they? Correct me if I'm wrong. Weren't they like 9-3 when he went down?
Good for a while.
They looked really good 2 straight years. I mean, I remember they were like 8-2. They were leading the year I picked them to win the Super Bowl. They were like 8-2, and then he got hurt. I think they went like 8-9 that year. I think they lost like 7 straight. I think it's a pride thing. I think that's really all it is at this point. Everybody keeps shoving the whole, well, look what Geno made, look what Carr made, look what Daniel Jones made, and you're gonna play for $32 million? No, they're disrespecting you, man. No, you decided you want this, they want to give you this, and they've thrown out a situation where the franchise is smart. If we're gonna lose you, if we're gonna lose a generational type player in terms of talent, we're gonna get paid for it, and that's why 0 teams are publicly interested in Lamar Jackson. It's not I know we keep saying this, it's not a collusion, it's not a racism. If he was available right now, there would be 25 teams, 26, maybe 27. I don't know. What do you think there are? 5 teams that wouldn't go after him?
At least 20 teams that would do it.
Well, I'm looking at it. I mean, there's probably 25 teams. Chiefs, Bengals, Bills,
Jaguars,
Chargers, Jags. That's 5. Maybe Broncos, because obviously they can't afford them because of Russell Wilson. So that's 6 teams right there. So maybe 6, maybe 7 teams wouldn't go after him. So you're talking about 2/3 of the league plus would go after you. But they obviously don't feel you're worth 2 first-round picks. We'll see what happens with the draft, because I'm curious to see if a team's offering 2 first-round picks and they're acquiring Lamar Jackson, they may be okay with those first-round picks being late 20s should Lamar Jackson be able to lead a team to a Super Bowl. ultimately, I think he still ends up with the Ravens, but that is a good wrinkle for me to think that Lamar Jackson may end up somewhere on a team that is okay giving up 2 high first-round picks.
Do you have any wrinkles?
I got lots, yeah. Which
Oh,
I'll add a wrinkle team, the 49ers. They don't have a pick this year. But would you trade 2 first-round picks and Trey Lance to be able to sign Lamar Jackson? I don't know their cap situation if they can sign Lamar Jackson.
I trade Debo and a first round.
Ooh, can you trust IU? Because then now you just did the same thing. You have a good tight end and no receivers.
Well, if they want to pay him, I'm sure Lamar's fine with that.
Would you trade Debo or would you trade McCaffrey?
They're not going to take McCaffrey. Then plus they have a better defense than the Ravens that did right now.
They do, but my point is that you wouldn't want to be Lamar and go from 1 lack of wide receivers to 2 lack of wide receivers. Now, it wouldn't matter if you're paid, like you said.
Nice money.
That's a tough one, but yeah, if they could find a way to squeeze him in without losing Debo or George Kittle or Christian McCaffrey or Nick Bosa, yeah, I can see them as an interesting team. They just don't have a pick. They just don't have a pick in this first round draft. Now, going back to the original story, I still don't see the Ravens picking a quarterback in the first round.
They're not.
Never say never. I mean, what type of quarterback would they go for? Would they go for the old Joe Flacco pocket passer type in like Will Levis? Or, I mean, they're not going to be picking, they're in the 20s, so they're not getting one of the 3 that everybody's salivating over. So who is the quarterback that they're thinking about picking in the first round?
There's not.
It's got to be Will Levis, if anybody. They're not moving up.
If they like Will, sure, maybe. I think the best bet is to draft one of those wide receivers.
I do
like
too.
You said.
I do too.
And then even if Lamar bounces after a year or less, then you can pick a quarterback next year.
Yeah, if you sign him to the deal and he plays or he doesn't play and you don't have him next year, then it is what it is. You go. At least you have a decent foundation with a young wide receiver, 2 young running backs, and a halfway decent
Isaiah Likely.
Oh yeah, the tight end. Yeah. Well, they saw Mark Andrews.
They saw Isaiah Likely too. He's even like 5 years younger.
He's still not better than Andrews right now, though.
I don't know. Let's get to this. Patriots were shot possible. There is rumors, or I don't know if it's reports, but there are rumors that Bill Belichick was trying to trade Mac Jones. You add into this that Billy Zappi allegedly has a good part of the locker room won over. This is interesting because Mac Jones, I think people make a good point about Mac Jones. He's good, but I don't know if there's a trade market for him. But on the other side is he replaceable? Yeah, he's replaceable. Like, I don't even know if he's on Kirk Cousins level right now, or has a potential to be on that level. I think he's a decent quarterback, but I feel like people are fooling themselves if they think the Patriots wouldn't want to replace the man. It also goes for my Billy Zappi thing here that I actually like the fact that Billy Zappi has won over some of the locker room guys, because I like Billy Zappi out of WKU, Hilltopper City, baby. Aaron, what is your thoughts on this? You think Patriots should shop Mac? You think they should just go with Billy Zappi? Because this is all over the place. I'm going with Billy Zappi.
So this is a tough one because, yes, what I saw out of Mac Jones last year, and even at flashes in the first year, doesn't lead me to believe that he is, the right fit to take over this franchise that was obviously, this wasn't a question for 20 years, this position. However, look, and in Bill we trust, I know that's the motto until death, but I mean, let's be honest, when last year your 2 main offensive coaches are Matt Patricia and Joe Judge, this is just not fair to Mac Jones. Now, I know Bailey Zappi went through the same situation, but there's no pressure on Bailey Zappi. And yeah, I'm a Bailey Zappi guy too. I loved when the Patriots drafted him, and if ultimately he wins the job, I'll root for him as well. But Mac's not getting a fair shake in this spot, in my opinion. Now, I think that obviously if they get the offensive coordinator spot more under control, this is an easy no-brainer that Mac Jones should win the job. Now, shopping, I don't know what that really means. When you're shopping a player, you're obviously just kicking the tires to see how other teams feel about Mac Jones. There's not other than the two teams. I mean, the team that's drafting Bryce Young, the team that's drafting CJ Stroud, and the only other thing is the team that's drafting Anthony Richardson. But even then, they're not gonna draft Anthony and then take on Mac Jones, even though Anthony probably won't play or start, at least in the beginning of this upcoming football season. There's no teams out there that need a quarterback, especially one that's not Lamar Jackson. But I think you guys are taking one. You're not taking.
We got Gardner Minshew is good enough though. I think
Jones are similar enough that if you want to draft Anthony Richardson, go for it and keep Gardner for as long as you need to keep him for. There's really not teams out there that need the services of a Mac Jones type that aren't going to go take a quarterback and maybe even take a shot at Will Levis in the first round.
Right.
So there's really no market for him right now to be a starter other than in New England. I may be in the minority here. I think Mac's going to be fine. I think Mac's going to be fine. I think he'll get a coach who can, take care and harness his skills. I think he's got a fine arm. His running ability is little to none, which is fine. They dealt with that for 20 years, and it was a little successful. It's definitely more than Tom Brady, that's for sure. But I think Mac is primed for a big middle finger type season. But even still to that point, it may not matter because they're the third best team in that division, maybe fourth.
I think the addition of Juju helps him.
Yeah, it's a better receiver than who was their number one last year. It was Devontae. Devontae's still there, right?
That's what I'm saying. Like Devontae Parker could have a healthy year. You still have his favorite Kendrick Bourne.
Mm-hmm.
You added Juju. You talk about receivers who can get. Look at what Juju's role with the Chiefs was last year. Yeah, he caught a lot of passes more than I thought he would. He's a tough go after the third down sticks kind of guy. But that's what the Patriots need. That's what they like, those tough, mean guys. And Juju, for being a TikTok star or lack thereof, does a really good job after the catch.
Well, yeah, you got Juju, you have Ramondre, who's now poised to take over the number one running back duty. They also picked up James Robinson. Remember the former Jaguar who had a couple 1,000-yard season? The big thing I like here, and I'm just looking at their depth chart at the moment, they got a combo of Mike Gesicki and Hunter Henry at tight ends.
Yes.
No, neither of those are Gronk and Aaron Hernandez, but I've been longing. I've never understood why they didn't go back to some sort of trial with that since obviously, no pun intended with trial, but Aaron Hernandez is on and Rob Gronkowski has moved on and retired. My point is that why have they never really kicked the tires on a dual tight end combination? I know last year Jonnu and Hunter Henry just didn't work out, but I think Gesicki is a pretty good tight end to really maybe revisit this. I'm interested.
I think Bill Belichick is that kind of a coach anyways.
If the Jets get Aaron Rodgers, there might be the fourth best team in this division. It's tough.
I'm not so sure about that because I still think the Patriots play the Bills really well.
It doesn't make them better.
It doesn't have to be better. Give me a Sunday where Bill Belichick can outsmart that coach for Buffalo, who I forget the name of, who's has underachieved, to be fair. Buffalo's underachieved the last 2 years.
I don't want to go down this road, so I'll just say one thing. It's hard to say they've underachieved when the greatest quarterback in the league is the reason that they're not there.
But Bengals beat them.
I mean, how many? Well, I think Joe Burrow is the second best quarterback.
Now,
how many teams underachieved under Tom Brady? I mean, how many people can say that maybe Peyton Manning underachieved because of what the Patriots did? Maybe Ben Roethlisberger underachieved. Maybe, I don't know about maybe Joe Flacco. I don't know. You could throw the list down the list of quarterbacks. Maybe how many guys underachieved because Tom Brady was in the league for 20 years?
I'll put it this way: how about how much is ring culture affecting this conversation? Like, you get to divisional playoffs or even conference championship, and all of a sudden you stink, like because you didn't make it to the Super Bowl.
How do the Bills stink? I mean, yeah,
That's my point.
This last year, the Bills played poorly against the Bengals, but the Bengals went up there and got them. I mean, the Bills were 13 seconds away from a Super Bowl, or from an AFC title game. They've run into the Chiefs. They run into the Chiefs every year. I mean, this isn't a ring culture thing. They have run into the best quarterback. Even when Patrick Mahomes doesn't win the title, the Bills in the AFC have run into the two best quarterbacks in the league. I don't know if they're underachieving necessarily, but they're going to get a couple of years where they get it. Now, how long can you keep the band together? I don't know, but I don't know if underachieving is the right word with this Bills squad.
In terms of the AFC East, I'll do this for you. I think Patriots would fight for the second best team in the East. I don't think they'd win the AFC East, but I think, let's say Dolphins or let's say Bills or let's say the Jets win it next year. I think Patriots will be right there fighting for number 2. It could be easily fighting for number 4. But that's how I believe how close this division is.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, I know the Bills give games away to lesser competition, but if everything goes according to plan, I think it is. I think it's Bills win the division, and a combination of those 3 teams could all finish anywhere between 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. Like every single team in that league, not named the Bills, has a chance to finish 2nd or 4th. It was like the AFC West when we're like, man, one of these teams has to finish 4th.
I think AFC East this year, if Aaron Rodgers goes there, obviously, I'm making a bold prediction. It's going to be what we thought the AFC West was going to be last year.
It's totally plausible.
Because Patriots are Patriots with a pushover. Got another thing coming.
If Aaron Rodgers is a Jet, who's the worst quarterback in that division?
It's Mac Jones.
Exactly.
And he's not bad.
I'm not saying he is. I'm just saying he's the worst quarterback in that division. Just like last year, we said Derek Carr was the worst quarterback in the division.
If you're the Ravens, I'm going to wrap it all up to this. I know we're taking a little bit of time on this. If you're the Ravens, do you because there's been talk that Meek Mill, I mean, why would Robert Kraft say this? It blows my mind. But Meek Mill said Lamar would want to play for the Patriots.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously he would. But think about this, though. If I can get back Mac Jones or even Bailey Zappi, I don't care which one you give me. Obviously, they want to get rid of Mac Jones. Okay, fine. Give me Mac Jones. Give me, a first rounder. Give me something else. If I'm the Ravens, I'd do that. If I get a potential 1-year starter who could be a 2 or 3 year starter, and I get some draft picks, and I get another good player maybe from the defense or whatever, I'm doing that deal. I think Patriots would do it in a heartbeat.
Well, of course the Patriots would do it. Yeah, I mean, I just don't know if I'm taking on a guy who now it's a 1-year basically show me, and now I have 4 months to basically redevelop my offense because their offense is catered around Lamar.
And then you piss off Odell. I don't know if you piss off Odell. Odell got $15 million. He can't really be pissed right now.
He can still be pissed. Trust me, he'll whine about anything. I don't know. I like this Patriots offense. I really do. It's a prove it year for Mac Jones because I know you've said this. At what point do we start to hear the whispers or the chirps that Bill Belichick should retire or, God forbid, the F word?
I like that word. I was actually seeing First Things First talk about it. And I was like, this show should be called Mike Said It First Things First. Because they were saying if he misses the playoffs, should he be fired? I'm like, whatever.
No, I say no, but I say there is going to be a starts rumbling because whether it's justified or not, there's going to start being rumbling. Look, the NFL is not college. This is a what have you done for me lately? Now, if this was a college football team, Bill Belichick could coach until he's got 1 foot in the grave. A college coach wins you. Nick Saban, case in point, they're never going to fire Nick Saban in Alabama. True. He will coach until he is done coaching because he has won them 5 national freaking titles. Bill Belichick in the NFL, it just unfortunately does not work that way. And I think maybe Kraft will do that, but you start experiencing, hurting your pocketbook because your team's not winning. You may have to reevaluate that situation.
Aaron, how are you feeling?
Me, I'm feeling great.
That's good. You ready for some top five?
I am ready for top five.
I'm glad he looked at my microphone. That was good. Okay. MLB. All right, here you go. Whoa. MLB top five. I'm so ready for this because I've got some hot takes. Not just because of hot takes, but because I genuinely believe this stuff. Aaron, why don't you go first?
All right, I'll go first. So my top five, I have a piece of paper here. I'm going to keep a running track of it so I kind of know where I'm at each week. But my number, should we start 5 or 1? I'm going to start with 1. 5?
1. Let's do 1.
All right, my number 1 team, it's pretty freaking easy right now. It's the Tampa Bay Rays. The only team in modern history to start 9-0. They have a 57 run differential. They have given up an average of 2 runs a game. I know it's the Oakland Athletics. They just swept the Oakland Athletics in a 3-game series and outscored their opponent 31-5. 31-5 in 3 games. They've been incredible. I know they've played the Nationals. I know they've played the A's. I get it. I understand. But they're my number 1 team, and it's not even close right now. My number 2 team is the Milwaukee Brewers. 7-2 out of the gate with a 25-run differential. They're playing absolutely incredible. Their pitching has really been where it's at right now. I'm impressed with this team, but they always kind of trick me at the end of the season. So for right now, they are my number 2 team. Number 3, the Minnesota Twins. I ball washed them so much last year, and it came back to bite me in the butt. I'm jumping back on the wagon. The Minnesota Twins got out to a 6-3 record. Their run differential isn't as pretty as those first 2 guys, but so far the first week of the season, Minnesota is going to be in my number 3 spot. Now, my number 4 spot is the evil empire, the New York Yankees. This is going to be incredible this year. I mean, the Red Sox at 5-4 are in 4th place. They'd be in 2nd place in almost all of the other divisions. But we say every year the AL East is such a tough division. But the Yankees are in my number 4 spot, currently 6-3. And number 5, I put this team because I don't know if they'll ever be in my top 5 again. So I wanted to give them a little bit of a shout out just in case they never make the top 5 again. And that's the Pittsburgh Pirates. Pirates open up the year at 6-3. Now they've swept the freaking Red Sox in Fenway. I mean, I can't imagine the last time that has happened by a team that troublesome. I mean, I know that the Red Sox are playing well as well, but the Pittsburgh Pirates are going to get an honorable number 5 spot for me in the opening rankings of our top 5 Monday. So tip of the cap to Pittsburgh there.
I should have done this for you. Just tell me your top 5 again just so I can make you have this moment.
All right, number 1, Tampa Bay Rays. Number 2, Milwaukee Brewers. Number 3, Minnesota Twins. 4, New York Yankees. And number 5, Pittsburgh Pirates.
Get off my show. Okay. Number 1 for me. Hi, Aaron. What's up, man? Okay, number 1 for me, the Milwaukee Brewers. Brewers are 7-2. As you mentioned, they have a plus 25 run differential, and they have 4 shutouts on the season already.
That is true.
I'll take that. Number 2.
Huh? I think the Rays have 3 already.
Oh, well. No, I think they have like 2.
I got 3.
Oh, what? Against 2?
3.
Against 2?
The Tigers and the Athletics. I understand.
That's really bad. Number 2, the New York Yankees.
Are you kidding me? Wow.
I'm serious.
It's your top 5.
It's the evil empire, as you call them, and I personally agree with that. If we did a top 5 list next week, and we're teasing this, let's just say, I'm not going to say what it is, but let's just say they would be number 1, and I don't even like baseball as my favorite sport. The evil empire is plus 19, and I have a bold take here. They are built for this new pitch clock format. They smack home runs or they don't smack home runs, so they're striking out other times. And I think their pitching is good enough to get them through. I think Yankees could be a great bet right now while the field is still, up in the air to win the World Series. And I hate saying that. I just threw up again. Number 3, the Tampa Bay Rays. I'm going to do you one better than just plus 57. Did you know that is more than 27 teams have scored for themselves? And that's their run differential?
Yep.
That's pretty good. It's them and 2 other teams that have scored more, and everyone else has scored less than 57 runs, and that's their run differential. Not bad. Number 4, but against who? I'm kidding. Number 4, the Toronto Blue Jays. They're 6-4, but why are they number 4? It's all on the road. It's pretty good.
So far,
Number 5, because they have the best player in baseball, but because their run differential is still a plus 15, I'm going to go with the 5-4 Los Angeles Angels because I don't know if they'll make my list unless they somehow do well for a season finally.
I have a challenge for you, sir. Ooh, I don't like this.
Yeah, I don't know why I just did that. My bad.
Can you name me 2 players on the Tampa Bay Rays?
No.
Can you name me 1 player on the Tampa Bay Rays?
No.
Number 1 spot, baby. And I'm not a Rays guy. But I will give you a stick tap for Toronto because you're right. What they've done on the road. I don't even think they've been home yet, have they?
Nope.
That's wild.
I don't even see anybody else in the league is like that.
No, I mean, there might be, not to my knowledge. But, yeah, to be 6-4 to start on the road, that's pretty damn impressive. But they are showing a -4 run differential. Right?
That's why I didn't say that because they were the only team in my top 5 history that's ever done that. So you're welcome.
It's pretty crazy to be 6-4. This just means when you lose, you get blown out. I mean, look, the Diamondbacks right now are leading the NL West, and they have a -3 run differential. So,
wow, that's a great game, but they have a terrible team.
The Diamondbacks so far, they're sticking it to the Dodgers right now. That's another. The AL West could be another race if the Diamondbacks are quote for real.
AL or NL?
What did I say? I'm sorry, NL West.
Yeah,
sorry. I said AL, my bad. But yeah, that's another team or another division that could have a 4-horse race with the Giants. You know, sorry, Colorado, but yeah, that's another 4-horse race right there.
Let's take uno more breako, and when we come back, we're talking NBA play-in tournaments, and Rudy Gobert pulled a Draymond Green in a bigger spotlight. You're not going to want to miss that if you haven't heard it. Right back to the AM Drive. Don't go anywhere. Tell people one more time.
One more time. It's very simple. Fanatics, MikeandAaronDrive.com. It's a match made in heaven for all your favorite sports memorabilia, merchandise, and apparel. Make sure you go to MikeandAaronDrive.com first when shopping at Fanatics because it helps out this channel and this show tremendously. And for that, we thank you. Fanatics and MikeandAaronDrive.com, the perfect teammates.
Oh, let's do a get caught up / play-in preview of sorts for the NBA play-in tournaments. And I know for the pundits that are saying, oh, well, LeBron said 2 years ago that whoever made up this crap was stupid. Yeah, I'm sure a lot of people do not like the play-in tournaments. But if you look at what it does for the league, it's not bad and should have been here a long time ago. Shout out to Adam Silver. Actually, bro, you're telling me only like 2 teams in the conference are bad now compared to like 8 of the 15? Yeah, I'll take that. Come on.
I think the problem needs to be more addressed before we get into it. The problem needs to be more addressed with tanking and lottery picks.
You can't stop that.
No, I understand you can't stop that. You can address. There are ways we can address this. I mean, there are absolutely ways we can address it. But the fact of the matter is now we have put 20 out of 30 teams in a playoff. In what world are we living in where 66% of the league makes the playoffs?
I'll put it this way. If let's say, for the sake of argument, the play-in tournament, all these teams lose in the first round, you think it really matters as long as they made the playoffs? Huh?
Which they probably will.
But let's say, for the sake of argument, like the Lakers get bounced in the first round. Okay? Can we put this narrative to bed that, it only helps LeBron James? Like, what if a team goes on a big run and beats a team and then beats another team in the best of 7?
Well,
then I guess the play-in tournament isn't bad.
Why would this matter to LeBron James? I'm not worried about LeBron James with regards to the play-in tournament. If the play-in tournament hurts LeBron James right now. If they don't win, if they don't make the play-in, this hurts LeBron. Or if they don't make the playoffs because of this.
Yeah, but right now the narrative is, Michael Jordan never needed a play-in. That's what I'm getting to. Is like, well, it helps the league, and if they're not that good, then they're probably going to lose. So let's watch them lose, or let's watch them go on a run. Either way, LeBron somehow loses this argument.
I mean, I get that. I understand everything's a LeBron Michael thing, but this play-in argument has nothing to do with LeBron. I mean, LeBron right now, has everything to lose by being involved in this playoff.
I think play-in is an awesome thing.
I think it's trash. I think how many more participation trophies you need to hand out in the NBA?
If a team makes the playoffs because of this tournament and wins a first round matchup, is it a participation trophy at that point?
Yeah, you didn't win they've devalued the regular season by allowing 66% of the league to get into the playoffs. I will
say the one glaring thing for me is that it doesn't help the load management, and it makes it worse.
I'm already in the camp that if you're sub 500, you shouldn't even be in the playoffs. And now there's a chance, even in the NFL. I've said that before too. I understand someone has to win a division, but now with the elimination of divisions not the elimination of divisions, but the elimination of divisions actually mattering in the NBA, see Miami Heat. If you're sub 500, you should not be a playoff team. You're not. And that eliminates the Bulls and the Oklahoma City Thunder at this point.
I think the Thunder aren't a bad team, but I get it.
I'm not saying they're a bad team. You are sub 500. You should not be able to play 82 games at below mediocre and fight for a playoff spot. Now, the one thing I can respect if the NBA decided to do it would just be a play-in game for 8 and 9. The 7th seed has always traditionally been a playoff team in the NBA. The 8th seed, I understand, has traditionally been a playoff team as well, but we've had some years where the Eastern Conference had some sub 500 teams make the 8th seed. If you want to make the 8 and 9 or the 8 and 9 a play-in game, but the 7th seed should already be in the playoff, in my opinion, if you're going to have a play-in game.
What if they do if they do interconference? Like what if let's say the Miami Heat could make it in the Western Conference? I think that would be good.
No, I'm just saying right now.
Come on.
If I had to have a playoff, if you're going to do that, you should just eliminate conferences altogether.
No, I think it's a good little wrinkle, which you have plenty of.
You're saying, but the thing is, they would have to readjust the schedule, where everybody played everybody at least 3 times.
I'm not mad at that.
I'm not mad at that either. But I'm saying my point is that no, the Miami Heat right now should be in the playoffs, not fighting for their life against the freaking Chicago Bulls in one game. They're literally 4 games better than the Chicago Bulls.
I'll take the Hawks. We're playing the Hawks first on Tuesday.
Oh, I thought it was 7 versus 10.
I don't know what it is, but whatever. It's apparently 7 versus 8.
That's even worse.
No, because I think if the Heat win this, I think they're automatically in. I think the loser plays the winner of the other teams. So basically, the Heat, if they win this, are the 7th seed. And I guess I should have noticed that before. And then the loser, let's say the Hawks, for instance, because I think they're going to lose. The Hawks are going to have to play the winner of the 9 and 10, and then that's the 8th seed.
But if the Atlanta Hawks win, they're the 7th seed?
I think, yeah.
So they're going to be 3 games behind Miami.
And they lost their division. Over
an 82-game season and jump them in the seeding? Nah, this is crap.
On the surface, it's fun. If you dig down the plumbing pipes, it's a little bit crappy. I agree.
Yeah, I don't necessarily agree with that. I mean, the Miami Heat to be 3 games better and 4 games better than these teams and be potentially eliminated. Same with the Lakers. I mean, they're 3 games better than a team they may lose to. I know they're only 1 game better than Minnesota and New Orleans, but it just seems like, how many years have we had the play-in game? 3?
I think it's 3rd year, yeah.
And it seems like other than the Lakers, it's the same teams in it. Minnesota's been in it a couple years. New Orleans been in it a couple years. I think OKC was in it last year. Golden State was in it one year. Like,
and got bounced by LeBron.
I mean, the fact it's not wrong. The fact that LeBron, I mean, I don't want to say that because it's not. LeBron's team has struggled out of the gates. They're pretty bad away from home. But I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this.
On the surface, it's nice. On the when you dig down, it's crappy.
It's just, to me, like we have two teams that are sub 500 that have a chance to make the playoffs. First of all, I'm against that. Secondly, just a team that's spent 82 games to get where they are, the Miami Heat. This is more the Miami Heat than the Lakers, but to get 3 games better than the teams below them, only to have a team jump them in the Atlanta Hawks. And not only that, for the Miami Heat to win a division, if we still care about divisions.
That's insane to me. That doesn't make any sense because you have to play that team the most. I don't understand that.
Yeah, I mean, it's a little crazy to me. I don't know.
Maybe like make these a best of 3. I wouldn't mind that. If it makes it a little bit better.
Then it just takes too long.
Oh, drop the season down to 78 games, then make it 3-game play-in tournament.
Then we'll only see the load management guys for 51 games.
Whoa. I still think though, to wrap this part of the conversation up, I still believe they should have a game requirement for some of these awards, or all of them.
Yeah, and that's fine. And I don't know, the awards, this MVP award is literally, for me personally, and maybe for other people, this whole MVP debate is literally going to tarnish all the awards. I don't care about the awards anymore. They don't matter. When you have guys coming out there like saying, oh, well, it's Embiid's time to win one because we can't have a scenario where Jokic has 3, Giannis has 2, and Embiid has 0. No, that's not the way it works. That's not, you're coming out, well, voter fatigue, we don't want to have voter fatigue. This is why we do it. It's like, when you vote for other people against the interests of the actual most valuable player, that is exactly what voter fatigue is. You were literally contradicting yourself in this scenario. So
coaches the reason why MJ won so many awards is because coaches voted for it, and coaches apparently knew what they were talking about.
I'm not saying that these writers don't know what they're talking about, but the point is when you tell me, like I guess I've said this 100 times. You're right. Michael Jordan was the most valuable player in his league for 10 years. LeBron James, the most valuable player in the league for 10, 12 years. Like
15. Go ahead.
Whatever. My point being is that like they are the best player in the league. The problem with voter fatigue happens is because everybody else just thinks no one else exists. But the fact of the matter is they are the best players in the league. It is what it is. I mean, Patrick Mahomes should be the 3-time MVP right at this point, not Aaron Rodgers.
Agreed. So, it's really sad you mentioned the voter fatigue. That's sad that we have to give a sympathy MVP award to Embiid.
I just wonder if we're talking, like, I think if they hand it, I'm okay if they hand it to Giannis this year. I'm not okay if they hand it to Embiid. I understand he put up 33, but he's, to me, not the best player in the league. I mean, I guess most valuable player. I don't know.
People
for me,
don't realize James Harden played well this year.
To me, it's Jokic, but I could understand if they hand it to Giannis.
My pick is Giannis.
My vote would go to Jokic to be that far ahead in the standings with that team. I mean, I don't think that team's very good. Now, in the playoffs, they don't scare me. But that's
really sad.
Huh?
Which is really sad.
I know they're the number 1 seed, and they just don't scare me. They don't scare me.
I think Lakers would cook them if they could make the 8th seed. By the way,
I'm looking at these freaking road records. How bad the Western Conference is atrocious on the road.
Playing tournament, I've got the Hawks plus. No, I'll go with the Heat to win and cover the 5. By the way, I think Lakers beat the Wolves, but by less than 7.
Is that what the spreads are here today?
Yeah, 7 and 5. I think Heat cover. I think Wolves cover, but I think Lakers win that game.
So if the Heat win, then the Hawks play the loser or the winner of the other game.
Raptors and Bulls, yeah.
Raptors and Bulls.
So I do believe in Raptors are 5-point favorites. I think that's tough. I think Raptors win that game.
Yeah, I could see that.
I think it's going to be Raptors and Hawks. I think that that's tough. I like Trae Young, but I think Raptors and Heat make it. Let's just say that.
All right, I can dig that. What about in the West?
So I got Lakers winning the first one, and then of course Wolves would have to play the Thunder or Pelicans. I think. Oh wow. Thunder have to get hot at certain times. I think Pelicans should win. I'm gonna go with the Pelicans to beat the Thunder, and I think that the Pelicans and the Lakers make it to the playoffs.
Yeah, I like that too. I think the TWolves are in shambles right now.
They've been playing well when Cat came back, but I don't trust the soft kitty cat.
What about the Frenchman punching his own teammates?
Listen, I'm going to tell you a tweet. I don't know if you've seen the tweet that I made last night on the way home, which is sad. Drive safe. I said Rudy Gobert is the same teammate that was taking a virus not serious at all. I don't care if we didn't know it was as deadly yet. It was still a contagious virus, and he didn't care. Minnesota needs to show Golden State what discipline looks like. This is the Draymond Green thing, except instead of hiding it, it's during a freaking basketball game. Horrible PR that cannot be simply pushed aside as what the presidents for Minnesota said dealt with internally. The NBA has to step in. How do you allow Rudy Gobert to punch a dude making contact with his chest, his own team removing him from the game? How in the world do you not discipline this guy for at least one game? Forget the Timberwolves. If I'm the NBA, Mouse in the Palace was horrible. Now you got Draymond Green, whose video was leaked, and so that's why they didn't suspend him probably, and because no one would have known about, which I think is a little crap. They say this stuff never happens. Either it happens all the time, or when it happens, you have to take it seriously. I don't know how you can have it both ways here.
I think it happened all the time since the dawn of the NBA. As we get more and more technology and more cameras in our world, this stuff comes out more. I think fights used to happen all the time in the 80s and 90s. I mean, Michael Jordan has been accused of fighting teammates and yelling at teammates.
During a game, it can't happen, though. Cannot happen.
Yeah, but he's not getting suspended for these playing games.
That's sad.
I mean, I can't imagine. Well, let me rephrase that. They are playing LeBron, so it's possible they do suspend Gobert.
No, that's not. Come on, don't do that.
They got to make sure LeBron gets in.
I don't think Gobert makes a difference, but okay. He's on a rebound. He's not going to grab any rebounds over Davis, and I think if you take him out, I mean, yeah, of course, LeBron's going to destroy Karl Anthony Towns, but that's fine line to play with.
I don't know what's the line right now. Would you say it was 7?
7.
That's with Gobert probably being in there.
I would say Minnesota covers that regardless.
Yeah, I do too.
Unless, of course, AD goes off for God knows whatever reason. When he goes off, Lakers are to me might be the best team in the NBA. When it's because we haven't seen AD going off with a healthy LeBron James, which is really scary for the league.
So why don't you take the Lakers versus the field, and why don't you make a bet?
Oh, you want me to make a bet? So I can do that. Let me check about US real quick. Do me a favor. Talk to people about Fanatics real quick.
All right, it's very simple. As we wrap up the show here, Mike looks up his bets because he wants to make a bet on his ball-washing boyfriend, LeBron James.
Ooh.
Make sure you go to MikeandAaronDrive.com, click the Fanatics link logo. You can buy a LeBron James jersey, whether you want to wear it or you want to burn it, whatever you want to do. The choice is yours. Just buy the damn thing. I don't care what you do with it. But make sure you go to MikeandAaronDrive.com and click the Fanatics logo today to shop Fanatics and help out the AM Drive.
What is the line for the Lakers? I don't even see it.
I don't know. It's probably somewhere in the neighborhood of like 15-1 or so.
Oh, I'm getting it right here. This is a great ending to the show, by the way.
Yeah, here I got you. The futures market, NBA Finals odds. Let's see. Los Angeles FanDuel's 22-1. BetMGM 16-1.
22 is nice. I think I have a 12-1 on them already to start the season.
Like you have the Nuggets, or I'm sorry, not the Nuggets, the Grizzlies 25-1. The Kings, the number 2 seed, 50-1.
Kings are good.
Here's a bet I made the other day, and you know how much I am in the into the NBA. I'll wrap it up here. I made a bet the Pacific Division would win the NBA title at 3-1.
And you've got the Clippers, Lakers, and Warriors. Are Warriors in there?
I got Clippers, Lakers, Warriors, Kings, and Suns.
That's a dang good bet. 3-1?
3-1.
It's not bad.
I'll take it because I can probably hedge off when that team loses to the Bucks in the finals.
I don't think Bucks are as good as people think they are.
We'll find out. So, all right, that's going to do it here for us on this Monday edition of the AM Drive. We appreciate you guys listening, tuning in, supporting. Make sure you visit Mike and Aaron Drive. It's got our shop, sponsors, socials, and YouTube all in one place. And, of course, interact with us on our Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram as well at AM Drive TV. For Michael Carvelis, I'm Aaron Krause saying we'll see you guys on Friday. Enjoy your week. We are out.
Drive safe.